Good evening. Today I invited the celebrity of our country who excelled in many fields. He is a man of many parts. During late 1940s, he was an outstanding schoolboy cricketer and a rugby player. He had the proud distinction of representing two leading schools in cricket. After his school career, he was the caretaker of his own properties belonging to his parents. Later, he entered the arena of politics. He functioned as a member of parliament in Dewlapitiya from 1960 to 1977. He served as Deputy Minister for Defence and Foreign Affairs in 1972 and Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister late Mrs. Sirimao Bandaranayake from 1972. He was an outstanding politician who have brought honor and distinction to this country. He was the Minister of Buddha Sasana and Cultural Affairs later, and presently he is one of the advisors and a consultant to His Excellency President Mahinda Rajapaksa. I think he needs no introduction to our viewers. He is Mr. Lakshman Jayakodi. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, to begin with, I think it's better that we start from the beginning. Can you enlighten us, give some detailed description about your family background?
Yes, thank you very much for calling me up today. Well, as far as the family is concerned, we were coconut landowners where my father was concerned. And my mother was Charles Dyer's daughter, the second daughter. Charles Dyer was the owner of all the books that was produced in Tower Hall. And his father-in-law was the owner of Tower Hall. And by saying this, I suppose many of the artists of this country and the coconut owners of this country knows how much of land we had and so on. And I was very proud to say that I was born to this family because of one fact that both families were ardent Buddhists. One family in Dewlapitiya owned was the supporter of the Saraswati Pirivena, Balagalla, and of course my mother's temple was the Vidyodaya Pirivena in Colombo. So thereby gives an impression as to we were good Buddhist side in both families. Because I know my grandmother became a bhikkhuni at the end of her career. My grandfather died in Colombo, while the other two of my grandparents died early in life. So that's all that I can say about myself.
Now, sir, about your family, when you were talking, you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have two sisters. They are both married and one is dead, unfortunately. But my brother is also living still. And they also look after their properties. And we were generally, we were more landowners and try to collect whatever that we have from the land. I mean, get the maximum from the land, and agriculture is.
Sir, the way that you described about your parental background, I can clearly see that Buddhism is one thing that was the golden thread woven round your family. Now, I like to ask you, regarding your schooling, where did you start your schooling first? And can you just describe something about your school career?
Yes. Traditionally, it has been where our parents, where the mother goes to the school. That has been the normal thing. And of course, she went to Ladies College, Colombo, and I also started my career at Ladies College, Colombo. And right throughout my career, I had my friend and very close friend, Mr. Lakshman Kadregama, from the kindergarten right up to Trinity College, we both went together, and we started life at Ladies College, Colombo. Thereafter, when the war broke out, when Ladies was commandeered, we had to go up to Kandy, and we were forcibly sent up to Kandy, and we found refuge at Trinity College. Then, after being there for some time, I did my science subjects, chemistry, physics, zoology, botany, and so on. Ultimately, my father one day came and told me, now look, Lakshman, these are not the subjects that will fit onto this country, because now we have gained independence. You must know something on Pali, Sinhala, Ceylon history and government. So I said, good Lord, how am I to tackle these 4 subjects after I did another 4 subjects earlier, science and now arts and all that. But we had to follow what the parents said. And I had no place at Trinity, because Trinity never taught Pali or anything like that. So I had to go to a school in Colombo, and I was sent to Ananda College for 1 year to study. But unfortunately, I passed in 3 subjects, I can remember. And I was called up for the Viva at the university. But on the day of the Viva, my father died. So I had to pack up things and get back to the village again.
My God.
So then that ended my career there. That is where my schooling was concerned, and that school life was wonderful at that time. But we went through a hard period, because it was it was a war period, the Second World War. Though it didn't affect us, it did have certain amount of difficulty where we were concerned, pertaining to food and things like that. But anyway, I think we were very happy, because the health of the people of that time was the best at it. We never had food that was insecticides, pesticides, and then artificial manure, fertilizer, and all those not used. You know, we had only cow dung fertilizer. So therefore, I think the food at that time was very clean and very wholesome. And of course, we never had the advantage of butter and things like that, because all butter came from England. Then jams and jellies came from England, and at that time it was a war, that the way they used to come, and they feared to bring anything here, because it was bombed by the Germans. Then later on we found that even paddy was getting difficult, because when the Japanese entered the war, they started bombing all the paddy stocks that we used to get from Burma. So therefore we found it rather difficult to get food. But I must say that this is D.S. Senanayake. My uncle was the then director of agriculture. I can remember we were all in Tera then, and D.S. Senanayake used to be was in and out of the house, and he did a wonderful job of work in order to produce this country. And we had, no one died of hunger, I must say, and all credit goes to that great gentleman who was our first, who was supposed to be the father of the nation, and was the first prime minister of this country. So therefore, I think the early period of school life went on like that. But it's quite a different kind of life that we had today. Even Trinity has changed quite a lot. We were a Christian school, but most of the students were Buddhist. I would say 90% were Buddhist, and only very few Christians as such. But though we were Buddhist school, our culture was Buddhism, because we are from Kandy. And everywhere, if you go to Trinity, if you go and see the school halls and everything, is like the Radha Malika area. And also, we used to listen to all the conch bells and the bells that we hear from the Radha Malika. In fact, our food also was taken at those by listening to those bells. So therefore, as I said, it was a Buddhist Christian school, but with a very, very strong traditional Buddhist background.
Sir, it was excellent the way that you expressed yourself regarding the good old days. Especially, it would have been a real challenge in life in 1944 during the wartime. So at Trinity, you excelled in not only in studies, but you excelled in sports too. You are an outstanding sportsman. Can you just tell us about your sports career at Trinity?
Cricket in Trinity at that time was going through a major change. Not only there, but also in the whole country, because I know that we used to play decent cricket, or textbook cricket. Our forward stroke and our cuts and our hook shots, and it should be the book. And it's not the time, it was not the scores that you made at that time. Today is the score. Today is not the score at that time. And at that time it is not the win or the lose. You see, it was more playing decent cricket, gentlemanly cricket, and that type of attitude was there. And we were unfortunately, or fortunately I would say, good cricketers.